not in there.
That's not there.
Wait, no, it might be in there. If it is, it's tucked up in there. Yeah, she's in there.
There.
It's nestled up in there pretty high.
Yeah, it's there. Because the tranny's tilting down because there's no engine.
You almost think maybe we could roll it on its side. It's got a performance yellow rear end cover in it.
Yeah, because the tranny's tilting down because there's no engine in it. Probably pick it up from this side. This door's already fucked up anyways.
Yeah. It looked like it wasn't attached to the rear end. Should be good. Let's crawl under here and see if it, make sure it's not bent. Shouldn't be. Yeah, I don't think she's going nowhere.
Alrighty.
Nice groundhog hole under the car. All right, let's get some tools. All right. Return to the earth. Ooh. She didn't like that very much. There it is. Whoop.
The next day.
So we're currently in a car trailer in Riley's Subaru because he decided that he was gonna bang shift gears going down the Carlisle Pike and he blew the transmission out of this thing. So there's not enough room in the truck that's towing it home, so I'm riding back here holding my foot on the brake because, well, we got no straps to tie this thing down, so I'm having a good time. And since I'm in an enclosed trailer, I can't see, whoa, that's a little harsh braking. Since I can't see anything, I've got Google Maps up right here on my phone so I can see exactly where we are on the road. We don't have that far to go, maybe 4 miles, but it's just a little disorienting being inside of this thing and not being able to see anything. So, just another day in my life. Yeah, he wound out first gear really hard, slammed second, and then it felt violent, and as soon as he went for third, it slipped out of second and we couldn't get it in any gear. It got neutral. We got no forward or back or reverse fucking gears. It's just, he tried for 20 minutes trying to get this thing into gear in the parking lot. Because we coasted it off the side of the road into a lot. But yeah, good times. Don't rip on your 98 Subaru Forester Outback, whatever shitbox we're in, and you won't have this problem. And let's see, we are going around a bend in the corner now, according to my phone. And whoop. Hopefully this trailer don't fall apart. Good times. And here's this car's current state of condition and being. It is living outside at the moment under a tarp because he wanted to put his Electra in the building and put the motor in, which we did. But now that that's broken, that's gonna go in. He gets to fix that on his own. And yeah, looks like it's gonna need waxed again. And I got 4 new tires. New. I got 4 new tires for it. I'll show you what I got when I get back to my house. But Chris gave me 2 tires off a Chevelle I'm gonna put in the back, and I got 2 used tires for the front. So yeah, that's how that's sitting. And here's those wheels I was promising you. They're not Kragers, they're Superiors. Back in the day, there was a lot of companies that tried to spoof Kragers. The company Krager, you had Superior wheels. Appliance was another one. Appliance makes a good looking wheel, and man, are they impossible to find, and man, are they expensive when you can find them. So this is what I got. I was saying I got tires for the car. Looks like a Krager, right? It's not a Krager. So what I needed was 2 used tires because I'm trying to build this thing for as cheap as possible. Like I was saying, Chris gifted me 2 BF Goodrich tires. They're bigger than these, so I'm going to put those on the back. They came off a Chevelle, and I had to find 2 more tires for the front. So on Marketplace, these came up for $100. These came up for the wheels and the tires. I needed the tires. I don't need the wheels. The tires are in great shape. They're date marked 2018. They're really hard though, I'll tell you that. These will not get traction. These are pretty hard tire. Almost feels like a bias ply. But they have plenty of tread. So I got 2 of them, 1 and 2, plus the 2 Chris gave me. We got tires, check. Told you I'm still in the parts gathering stage. But since I only spent $100 to buy these 2 wheels, mags, and tires, I'm going to take the mags and I'm going to sell them. And I think I'm going to make out pretty good because I also have in the garage here 2 Kragers. I bought 4 Kragers, 1, 2, and there's 3, 4 back there. I needed these 15x8 deep dish for the Cutlass, so I bought these in a set of 4. Only needed these 2. The wheels I bought for the Cutlass came in 4s, and I have the 2 back here that I am not doing anything with. So I'll take these 2 Kragers plus those 2 Superiors in the basement you just seen, and I'll sell the mags themselves for $100, $200, whatever I can get for them. Make out like a bandit, get my set of tires I needed, and we'll be on our way. So that's what I've been doing. I'm wheeling and dealing parts to get as much cheap, free shit as possible, plus getting free shit. Like that bracket you seen, or that Wonder Bar, or this Posi Gears, or any of the other things that you have. So if you're watching this and you like 3rd gen builds and you have free shit that you don't want, that you want to send me, I'm not asking you to send me stuff, but I'm not telling you not to send me free stuff. So if you got free shit you don't want and you want to send it my way, I'm not telling you not to. Oh, junkyard. Here's the Lincoln frame you got to see in that one video. That's the spare motor for the Mustang, possibly, if I need one. Isn't that cool? And then there's the Lincoln body over here. Carnage. Look, it's a lowrider now. So that's pretty much how my day started. He picked me up so we can go get food and come over here and clean out this garage. And yeah, he decides that he's gonna wind out first gear and slam second, and boom. All right, so due to technical difficulties, I'm gonna refilm what you're watching right now. I had it done earlier, but it's kind of garbage. So you see the red car sitting out there in a field, all covered up. I'm putting that on the back burner temporarily because the Cutlass is more of a priority, and that's coming into home stretch where I can just throw it all together and get it on the road. But what I am doing is I'm still in the parts gathering phase with the Camaro. So while I work on the Cutlass, I can still keep gathering what I need to get that thing on the road, the Camaro that is. So I wanted to make a special video of all the free parts I'm getting for this car, because I paid $200 for the car, and people have just been giving me stuff for the car, and I'm ecstatic. It's just helping the build of, can I put this car together for almost no money? My buddy Damien, he came down and he hooked us up with a set of 342 posi carrier and gears. That came out of a LS6 or LS, what? LS6 Camaro?
What year?
I don't know. It was an LS Camaro or Firebird, 4th gen. So unfortunately, those gears won't work with my axles in that 82 Camaro. I have to get gears out of what, an 89?
89 and up. 89
to 92 has a different spline axle that'll work with those 4th gen parts in a 3rd gen rear. So thank you, Damien. I really appreciate that. We just gotta get this going. Cool buddy I met on Camaro page on Facebook, Dave. He's got a pretty sick IROC. He gave me a Wonder Bar that's in his box. If I don't fall over. I put out an ad that I was looking for a Wonder Bar for pretty cheap, and the guy hit me back. He says, I got a spare one in my garage. You can just come pick it up. And we did that. That was out in Halifax. It wasn't that far away.
Yeah, it's maybe what, 35-minute drive in the Lexus?
Yeah, anybody wondering what the Wonder Bar does, it's like a frame brace that goes in front of the sway bar up front. You unbolt the sway bar, drop it down, slide that in between, and bolt it all back together. According to 3rd gen people, they do wonders to the car, so we're going to give that a try. And on top of that, I got that WS6 steering box out of the Trans Am in a junkyard for the car. Wonder Bar, WS6 box. I got WS6 sway bars, this massive front sway bar for it that weighs like who knows how much. The rear sway bar is back here, smaller obviously. Then one of my good subs, John, he's Chevelle 406. I was talking to him saying that I'm gonna need an adapter bracket to put a 3-speed or a 2-speed in that 3rd gen out there. And B&M used to make an adapter bracket. This is it right here. They don't make this anymore for whatever reason. And John said, you know, I have one of these in my garage. It's been sitting in this box for a while. I don't need it. I'll just send it to you. And I tried to pay him for it, and he wouldn't take payment. So, but it's got that. It's got this piece, a pile of instructions. It's even got the B&M sticker. Like,
Totally unused.
Totally unused. Everything that would come in the box when you buy it. All the hardware. That's a lifesaver, because I didn't know where I was going to get one of those from, because they're so hard to find these days. We were talking about...
We would have had to get an aftermarket, like QA1, UMI, whatever, aftermarket sway bar, or not sway bar, swing arm.
Yeah, the whole torque arm that goes in the rear end.
Which is, it's got its own like tubular torque arm, and that's got its own bracket that bolts to the frame, so you don't have to bolt it to the train.
And that's over $400. I didn't want to go that direction. So I was thinking maybe we'd just bend up some sheet metal and make something work, but thank you, John. I don't have to do that now. That is awesome.
Drive shaft.
Yeah, we got the drive shaft yesterday. You're going to see that at some point in this video. I don't know where that's going to be, before this or after this part. So I got a drive shaft yesterday. The drive shaft it's a hay and a needle stack, because it's an 82 only drive shaft. They made the cars from 82 to 92, and only 1 year they put 3-speeds in them with an extra long drive shaft. Everything 83 and up has a 7R4 tranny with a long tail shaft, short drive shaft. So finding an actual 82 car in a junkyard, it's pretty goddamn hard.
Well, what was funny is we went to the junkyard thinking there was this brown 82, And we got there, and if it's an 85, said,
It turned,
"Why?"
yeah, the brown one I thought was an 82 turned out to be an 85.
So I look up the hill, and I'm like, well, hey, there's another one up there. Marty's like, no, that's probably an 85 as well. But I would go up to look at the VIN. Well, C, that's 82.
Well, no, before you got to the VIN part, I said, don't even bother with that car. That's probably an 85 and up. And he goes up and looks at it anyway. So I follow him, and I'm like, wait a second. This has got 82 to 83 interior in it, like the seats and the door panels. I'm like, this is an early car. No shit. So he's scraping the windshield, trying to get the VIN cleaned up, because the car's been there since 1864. And turns out, yeah, C. It was the VIN code C means it's an 82. So.
And then there was another 82, 83 there, but it ended up being an 83.
Yeah, there was a blue one that was in the junkyard. It was either 82 or 83, and it was a D code for 83. But we got lucky. Out of the 3 third gens they have in their yard, they had an 82 and the drive shaft is in it.
Yeah, it wasn't even the one we were going to look at.
No. And that car is, I think I took the last useful part off that car. There's nothing usable on that car.
No engine, the trannies are junk.
The tranny's hanging out of it, there's no engine.
I mean, it's still the rear in it.
Who's going to put that rear in there? It's probably an open V6 rear.
No, it's a V8 car.
Or, well, still, you know what I mean? It's sport.
It's the same rear.
So anyway, I got my drive shaft, and that was the hardest part to find in this car. Everybody on third gen page is like, oh, why don't you just have one custom made? I'm like, one, you guys don't seem to know the actual dimensions, because I get 100 different answers and how long are they. And two, that would defeat the purpose. I'm putting the car together out of garbage and free shit that I find on the side of the road. So, alright, I think we're going to take a stroll outside, and I'll go show you what's going on with the Electra.
You just talking about the motor plate, or the motor mount plates.
Motor mount plates?
For the old motors.
Oh yeah, and then a guy, Brian Trick from the Oldsmobile pages, he's the one that sent me the motor mounts so I can put the Olds 350 in it, because
the frame mounts.
The frame mounts, because the mounts that go to this engine won't bolt into a Chevy. You have to take the Chevy mounts out and put Olds frame mounts in. I can't show them to you because they're in the car and the car's all covered up, but you get the idea. So let's go outside, and I'll show you what he's got done to the Electra with putting the engine in it and all kinds of good stuff like that. Alright, so what's up with this turd?
I gotta replace the thermostat gasket.
No, I mean, since we put the motor in the car, you guys didn't see that. We broke the engine and you still didn't see that, so open the hood and show the people.
Alright.
As I was saying on camera, the reason the Camaro is sitting out in the wilderness is because we had to make room to put this inside. And that's what we ended up doing last month. We got the motor put in. We broke the motor in. I have that on film. I might post that, I might not. It's not that entertaining, really. But yeah, the valve covers are crusty. You still got to paint them. But you remember when we painted the rest of the engine? Worked out pretty good.
Now it's still got the speckles of fucking rust coolant on it.
Yeah, antifreeze sprayed up on there. He's got my air filter assembly off the Cutlass. I haven't used that in years.
I'm pretty sure it's this gasket that's leaking.
Yeah, thermostat gasket's leaking.
Because what happened was that I was driving it, I pulled into the garage and I saw smoke coming out, so I looked, and there was a puddle of rusty water looking shit here. Thinking it was oil, I was freaking out, thinking it was the front main seal again. But it was all up in here. I wiped it down, and I wiped under here, and there was water there, so I figured it's coming out of there.
Let me tell you this though, that engine paint shit stinks like burnt sugar when it's burning off. Well, for the whole first week driving it, the car stink like sugar, burnt sugar.
And then I've been having problems with the oil pressure bypass valve.
Oh yeah, you're not gonna see it in the video I'm gonna put up with the break-in because it's too long. But we had to break this cam in steps. We ran it for what, 10 minutes? Not even.
10 minutes first time. There was like.
And the oil pressure just kept dropping and dropping and dropping, and it almost hit zero, and we shut it off. And we called it a night. Then he dicked around with it, and he found out the bypass valve and the oil pump was getting stuck. So we pulled that out, cleaned it, put it back in. We fired it back up, had perfect oil pressure, finished breaking the cam in. And then he was driving it for a couple days and started doing it again, losing oil pressure.
Pulled it back out, cleaned it, put it back in. I think there's some like some of that assembly lube shit that they used.
Maybe.
It's getting stuck in there and clunking it up.
Buick problems.
But it seems I put a 20. It says 23 to 2700 stall converter in this, and I don't like it.
It feels like it's stalling at like 3,000.
Yeah, so I'm gonna put the factory torque converter back in it, or if I get $500 to pull it out of my ass, I'm gonna go get a used converter. And
then he's got my carb on there for the Cutlass. That's the 780 Holly. since the Cutlass ain't on the road. He borrowed my carburetor to throw on this thing because when we wanted to go break the engine and we knew that carburetor is perfectly set up, ready to go.
I have one. Should be ready to go. It didn't seem to work on Austin's car, but none of our carburetors seem to work on Austin's car. So I'm gonna try it on this and see if it fires up. But so far there's been no other problems other than that leak.
So we've been driving that around until he started having thermostat issues, and then he's gonna change that gasket and this thing will be back on the road.
On the dash?
Huh?
See what's on the dash?
What's on the dash? A hula girl. Where the hell did that come from?
Zach put that on there.
Hang on. Shake the car. So yeah, this thing's not looking the greatest. The paint starting to wash off it pretty good. This thing sat so long that the license plate faded. The blue faded off and it's got to be repainted.
Yeah.
And then there's that thing. Well, that's the car trailer I was just riding in.
Finally, after years, have a nice car trailer with working lights and brakes. Now we just need a truck.
Yeah, I gotta tell you, I think it rode great.
Now we need a truck that has working lights and brakes.
Then there's the old 71 Ford. And that's about it. I'll post that video of us breaking this thing in, but it's more or less for documentation, not entertainment purposes. It's kind of boring. So now I'll see everybody later. I think. Yeah.